I do have a Facebook page for people. I don't have 3,000 friends. That's a pet peeve of mine. If I don't know you and I get a Facebook request, or if you're one of my current students and want to be on my Facebook, I won't add you. But I see people try to add me, and they got 100 friends, and they're all people I know politically, so they just think they're making a buddy club. Sorry, folks, I don't know you. But I do have a Facebook page for my blog where anybody can sign up. And instead of 3,000, like all the other people who sign up with my Facebook friend who I've never met and probably never will, I have 71 people following my Facebook site for my blog. My big readership from my site is the blog side of stuff. Twitter and Facebook, they don't really add a lot to my audience, but they're there. Other people, other sites are going to be, and you know, there was sctweets.com are very, people go there and get tweets and they have fun with it. So it's going to vary. Different social media approaches work for different audiences. For me, my blog site is my main vehicle for traffic, and nothing else I've done is really added value. But that's not to say it won't work. So the smart thing to do is be aware of what's out there. Stay aware of what's coming up, and look to see how it works for you and what you're trying to accomplish. It's going to vary from person to person, audience to audience, and there's not a one-size-fits-all solution. There never will be. And to be honest with you, once you start, you're going to find you're going to have to change. Last year I came out with Blogland 2.0, the souped-up version, that I've made some changes to make it more user-friendly. And my 3.0 is going to have to adapt to mobile phones. Mobile phones work very different. You can't download content-rich sites. So my third version is going to be something that can work on a web browser or a mobile browser. Because it doesn't work very well on mobile phones. I'm not to that fit my eyes, but I have to continually stay on top of what works. Who else?
I'm Chris, I'm in 11th grade.
Hey, Chris.
All of a sudden, I'm finding myself confused on what I'll do in my future.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm confused about my future all the time. My bills still get paid. My kids still like me, and it works out.
My question: what do you think about requiring public officials who hire bloggers to shill for them to disclose those relationships in order to improve transparency and increase public trust?
Good question, and I actually answered that on Facebook earlier. I think there should be full disclosure. For the record, I do not accept pay for. I have not been paid. The only thing I've gotten in the last 2 years, I got a $250 check from Tim Scott after the election. I guess it fell. I don't know. They sent me a check. I don't blog for hire. Other bloggers have been accused of that, and I've heard some pretty interesting things, but nobody will produce the evidence that at least one blogger, that's all this person does. If I could get it in print, if I could get it in hard evidence, I'd probably run the story to watch this blogger sink. Because this blogger trade himself as virtuous and turns around and works for hire. But like I said, I can't prove it. If there's a relationship, your audience deserves to know it. They really do, period. Whether you're the person paying or you're the person getting paid. Do I have a problem with people blogging for hire or communicating for hire? No. I don't have a problem with lobbyists in Columbia for that same reason, because they still know things. And if you try and say that person's paid to talk, I don't need to listen to them at all, you're making a mistake. Lobbyists, like paid bloggers, bring you information. They do research, they have opinions, they have insights. But once you know the relationship, you then can balance it. So this person's advocating, yeah, they're getting paid, but they're still providing you information. Like I said, political campaigns, they're not providing you everything you need to know, they're providing you what they want you to know about them. So your obligation is to do what? Get the other side. At least you know. And you should be disclosed, period. But don't think that the relationship makes somebody not credible. Once they disclose they're respecting you, you should respect them by considering them. Who else?
My name is Taryn, and I plan to go to school for audio engineering and record producing.
Okay.
Right. If elected officials make blog comments hiding behind assumed names, wouldn't the public's interest in transparency and its desire for more civil conversation be better met by calling on those public officials to man up, take ownership of their comments, and stop hiding behind assumed names?
Well, it's like this. Do you trust anonymous sources yourself? So some of us post anonymous comment, what does it mean to you? Doesn't mean a whole lot. Years ago, probably my nastiest experience in my blog, I welcomed the Aryan Nations Conference to it. They were having the Aryan Nations World Conference was being held in Trailer Park, Lexington County, and I welcomed them. Welcomed them with a clip of from the movie The Producers. If y'all seen this, a pretty hilarious scene where a quote-unquote stereotypically gay Hitler is on stage, and they didn't think it was very funny. I warned them to stay away from cousins, because they were enlightened Aryans. That's just what enlightened Aryans believe. Oh, they believe in spell check, not being involved with cousins, taking a bath daily. You know, all the basic things that, Aryans need to work on. They didn't think it was very funny, but the threats came anonymously, so I took them how much seriously? Not at all. But anonymous comments, if you don't stand behind your product, I don't care if it's a comment on a blog site, if it's a car, or it's a computer, or it's your services, if you can't stand behind your product, then what good are you? So take it for what it's worth. Somebody puts up something anonymously, so what? If you want to influence somebody, you stand behind your words, stand behind your product, period. So if somebody wants to snipe anonymously, fine, they can do it. Doesn't bother me, because it's not credible to me. And you already did it, it's not credible to you. So so their job is to post comments or influence people is posting anonymously accomplishing that. Based on what you and I have said, it's not, is it? So why bother? It's why I don't like anonymous blogs. With the occasions they'll put together a hit with basically an anonymous blog to carry out political hits, they have a shelf life of about 6 months. They give up. Why? Because two things happen. One, if you're a reporter, are you going to trust an anonymous source won't reveal who they are? So you're not going to generate news stories. Second, people will start looking for that person. And they will start nailing people close. They'll figure, oh, they're getting inside information. So next thing you know, this person's friend is getting them information for their anonymous blog, that person gets fired. Because it's seen that person's leak. How do you feel then? When you run this anonymous hip job blog and you just got all you accomplished was no headlines, but you got a good friend of yours fired. So after 6 months, you give up disillusioned. You can't influence it. Well, of course you're not. Who's going to believe somebody who you don't know who they are, you don't know what their motive. We talked about the last question, motives. You don't know their motives, you don't know who's behind it. So you don't influence anybody you give up. So ultimately, if people want to take shots anonymously, let them. Doesn't bother me because I don't care.